Welcome to Real Success Stories. My name is John Wadsworth, president of Strawn & Company Insurance. I'll be your host as we bring you exciting content featuring exceptional individuals and organizations. Throughout my professional career, I've witnessed many talented people build successful businesses and significantly impact their communities. We will now have the opportunity to bring these stories to you. We will have the privilege of speaking with business owners and highly successful individuals who are involved in a wide variety of industries. We will see success defined in many different ways. Our guests will share their stories of how they built their businesses to reveal strategies that you can duplicate in your endeavors. We will get to experience the human side of success as we identify the challenges and obstacles that entrepreneurs endure. We will see the thin line that separates giving up from true success. Along the way, we'll have the opportunity to speak with nonprofit organizations that are creating opportunities for success in their communities. Another goal of this program is to give these great organizations broader exposure and awareness to help continue their success. As a listener, we hope you feel encouraged to support the organizations that we feature. Through this open and honest forum, we aim to build community and foster success among all who wish to pursue their dreams. You will hear real success stories of people just like you and me. Thanks for listening. Check back regularly for new episodes and make it a great day. Hello and welcome to this episode of Real Success Stories. I'm John Wadsworth, president of Strawn & Company Insurance, and I'll be your host as we have the opportunity to speak with a wide variety of guests as they share their stories of success. Today, we're very excited to welcome Rebecca Dervan, Director of Marketing and Development with Strong Rock Christian School. Rebecca, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much, John.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So our listeners can't see this, but we've got a little change up this time. Number one, it's a beautiful day, but number two, instead of recording back at the office, we've had the opportunity to actually come down to the Strong Rock campus today. And what a beautiful day and a beautiful facility. Thanks for allowing us to come down.
Thank you so much for being here. We're happy to host.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, we've been talking for a little bit, and kind of getting to know each other a little bit here, and your involvement at Strong Rock. So, let's start off. I think many of our listeners are familiar with Strong Rock. We do have some folks outside of the Henry County, South Atlanta area. So, tell us a little bit about Strong Rock and the mission of the school.
Okay, I'd be happy to. Well, in 2004, three brothers, the Adams brothers, they actually owned the property of Strong Rock where we sit today, and originally had plans here for a housing development. But after some time and prayer, they believed that the Lord really was calling them to a purpose of building a private Christian school. With much prayer and planning, they actually began the groundwork here, and they were ready to open the doors of Strong Rock Christian School on August 6th of 2007. Now, even with the Christian school analysts saying it would be a healthy start to begin just with 50 students, we actually were able to open up our doors with 326 students on day one.
That's amazing.
God's hand was definitely gracious towards us, so
yes,
we were
ma'am.
grateful. We had many families that trusted, in the direction and the vision of the school from that very first day. And just this year, we had our first graduates that began here in pre-K, and they graduated here this year.
So their entire academic career with Strong Rock and the Strong Rock family.
They started here in pre-K. So our mission here as a school really is to glorify God, and it's to partner with our families here in educating and inspiring their children to impact the world for Jesus Christ. That is our mission. That's our focus. We offer educational excellence in academics, fine arts, our athletics, as well as our missions to really prepare this next generation of leaders. We have an ongoing commitment to provide quality and state-of-the-art facilities, which you're in today, with the most dedicated teachers who really give strong attention to each individual student. And we also have a commitment to a small student-teacher ratio within the classroom, and I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart and our parents really appreciate.
Certainly. So, just as a couple points of detail and clarity there, what age groups does Strong Rock serve? How we mentioned the pre-K to graduate, but is that 4K, 3K, 2K? How early can children start their academic careers with Strong Rock, and then I'm assuming that goes through 12th grade high school graduation?
Yes. So we actually have two campuses. Most people are unaware. They know of where our main campus is. And here at our main one, we offer pre-K 3 all the way through 12th grade. But we do have the Early Learning Center, and they start at 6 weeks all the way up to K4. So it's a great feeder in preparing children there with the curriculum that's taught and preparing them to come over here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then another point that you touched on was the student-teacher ratio.
Yes.
Is there a specific goal on that ratio that you guys seek to achieve, or an average that we could share with the listeners?
We do. We tend to stay right around 19. Of course, this past year was a little bit different with all
Certainly.
of the COVID restrictions, and we had dropped that number down to 17. But we do try to be very intentional to keep it very small. And many of our classes are even smaller than that. It depends on if it's an AP honors class, you may have 7 or 8 students in that one particular class. So, but we do keep them relatively small.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, that's something that as a parent myself, the class size is kind of that's always a piece of the conversation.
That's right.
When talking about whether it's what are the challenges your child may face, or what are the things you're looking for in an academic setting. So that's great to hear that.
Well, and teachers are able to be a little more intentional and really to pick up on students that are thriving, maybe those that are struggling, and accommodate those particular students in that class to make sure that they're all excelling at whatever level they are at.
So in your time with the school, how has Strong Rock changed or grown?
Well, Strong Rock has grown in student participation and parent partnerships. We actually opened our doors in 2007 with the 326 students that I mentioned earlier, and that enabled us to represent 240 families. But today, our enrollment is actually up to 835 students,
Wow.
representing 670 families. So we're very excited about this coming year. Now, since then, we've actually added a learning center here on our campus, and this is part of where we're actually sitting today. And we're in the process of building a new multiplex that will provide another basketball court, multiple fine arts classrooms, a wrestling center, a dance studio, and even a black box theater. So also, when we first began, we only offered football, baseball, basketball, tennis, track and field. And since then, we've been able to develop more athletic offerings. So now we're actually offering 60 team sports in our academy and high school. So many things for our students to get involved with.
Opportunities for everyone, wherever your skills or passions may lie, opportunities for everyone. And you mentioned with the multiplex, the area for wrestling. I think it's probably good to give the Strong Rock wrestling team a little shout out. So that they had a pretty big accomplishment this past year. Correct?
They had a great season. Yeah, they really competed very well. In fact, we've actually started to offer a wrestling camp coming up in July for students 5th grade through 8th grade to really build as a feeder into those students that potentially could be interested in that.
Awesome.
So I think it's great to have exposure at a young age. Our coaching team here has done a tremendous job, not just in building interest, but building in the quality of students that are participating through the wrestling sports program.
How exciting. That's excellent. That's excellent. So this fall will be 14 years since 15 years since the first class came in.
Yeah.
So with that, what do you attribute the effectiveness with which Strong Rock has achieved its mission and been able to accomplish so much in such a short period of time?
It has been a short period of time. You know, when we first opened, the highest grade that we actually offered was up through 10th grade. But now we've graduated 627 individual students representing 12 graduating classes up until now. So that's been a lot of students that have been able to come through. But Strong Rock has always researched for new ways to strengthen our academic rigor that we offer here. One way that we've done that is through a blend of incorporating music into our program. And I think this is truly fundamental. We actually house 2 piano labs here on campus with several pianos in each classroom. And research has proven that the study of music actually supports brain development, and students with musical backgrounds consistently perform better on standardized tests than with students without a musical background. So this research has led Strong Rock administrative team to really include piano classes as part of its curriculum, and that we begin that offering that in 1st grade.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's a
Very
tremendous part of our curriculum here at Strong Rock. I think that's fundamental. Now, historically, we see most colleges really look at the success of a school based on a student's SAT and ACT scores, which are important. That's an indication of just college preparedness. And our recent graduates actually received over $2.7 million in scholarship offers. They had 191 acceptances to 78 different colleges, and they completed 435 honors classes, 159 dual enrollment classes, 214 of those were AP classes. I mean, the list goes on and on. The accolades are tremendous here. But although our students continuously score high on both aptitude tests, we really have a great many of accolades, and that greatest measure of our success is the caliber of our graduates. The true character of our graduates is a result from a Christian education done well, and that's really what we look to measure with our students that finish here. Our student graduates, they graduate with their purpose, which is to glorify God in whatever path He has them on. And just a preparedness academically, spiritually, personally, and morally, that they're ready for the world and what they face. But they also possess a deep understanding of God's Word through all of our 4 pillars here at the school: academics, athletics, fine arts, and missions. And our unique and successful academic program that begins in pre-K and continues all the way through 12th grade, it actually develops students who will impact the world for Christ, which is the true desire of each faculty member here, teacher, administrative staff. That is our purpose and our goal here.
Amen. Well, that's and one thing I really like what you said there is when you mentioned when the students graduate,
Mm-hmm.
they're ready to go to wherever the Lord's calling them.
That's right.
It's not necessarily what they may have grown up thinking they were going
That's
in this
right.
direction to the left, and now they're being called in this direction to the right.
Absolutely.
And being able to recognize that
Well,
and follow that call.
and having that many acceptances, obviously they can't take them all. So it is a part of seeking the Lord and what the plan is that He has for your life, and not just where that's best suited with your degree, but really where He's calling you to be. Because so much life happens in college,
Yes,
where
ma'am.
you gain your career, maybe where you make lifelong friends, maybe where you potentially meet your spouse. And so a lot of life changes happen there. So it's important to be in God's design and God's will for your life. And we hope that
Amen.
we've made an impression on our students to be able to hear that voice and recognize that and to be able to follow obediently.
So I think that's a terrific segue to our next question. From the framework of being called. So, tell us a little bit about your involvement at Strong Rock, your role at Strong Rock, and kind of how you became involved in a part of the Strong Rock family.
Okay, I'd be happy to. My family and I actually moved here in December of 2017. 4 of our 5 children began here in January of 2018. So we started mid-year after the year had already started, which is a tough transition to make, but Strong Rock made it absolutely effortless for us. So after being at only Strong Rock here just for a few months as a parent, it was really evident that this was a place that I would really love to be more than just a parent. And so I applied and began working here in August of 2018 as a first grade parapro, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I love the team, just under the leadership of Judy Johnston, our principal there, and just the team of teachers that I was able to work with. And of course, the students and families that you get to make an impression on. It was just an invaluable time there. And our youngest, who had just turned 2 at the time, began at our other campus, as I mentioned earlier before, the Early Learning Center. And that was just a personal blessing for us because as we moved here, we noticed that her speech was a little bit delayed and had her tested. And they, of course, recommended having her in a preschool. And so we just were praying about, Lord, what would you have us do? I had homeschooled before and thought maybe that might be a good choice. But it was evident after we had toured the campus there that that was where she needed to be. And we were so excited at the end of that year. She was well beyond where she needed to be verbally, understanding and able to communicate. So Strong Rock has been just a personal blessing for us in that way, that we've been able to see just the fruit of that as a parent with our children. And that's just one example of our 5. They're all thriving here. But just as we began that work here, and as I was serving as a parapro, there was another opportunity that opened up for the director of marketing position, which I'm in now. And I've been here ever since doing that and just thoroughly enjoy the team that I get to work with.
Excellent, excellent. So, pivoting a little bit here in our conversation, as we discussed prior to recording, part of what we try to offer through the podcast is for those folks, whether they're involved in an individual career, a nonprofit, a school, a for-profit small business that they're trying to develop or grow, or maybe it's just an idea
Yeah.
in the back of their head. We like to share the stories of overcoming challenges, the stories
Sure.
of the things that were struggles and maybe we wish we had known different, or we wish this resource had been in place, or, from another standpoint, because we had this resource or this strategy in place, it really led to our success. And I think Strong Rock's story, particularly with the timing
Yeah.
of when the school opened, really leads into that. So, of course, Strong Rock opened just prior to the Great Recession.
Yeah.
And certainly not only did our nation face, incredible economic challenges, but Henry County and the local counties here on the south side of Atlanta were just greatly impacted. And so how was Strong Rock challenged in that environment? And what was it that allowed the school to overcome those challenges?
In our early years of development, the recession really did impact many of our families here, as most of them are business owners. And we saw this as a great time to really strengthen our partnership with our families there. We recognized that many of the families here believed in the investment of Christian education. So we made the decision to find ways to partner with them specifically and individually. From financial restructuring to intentional listening, we were able to serve our families who were negatively impacted just during the economy during those tough years. But most importantly, really, John, what we saw was God's faithfulness, His perfect direction, and really recognized that it was really only by His divine favor and blessing that we were able to not only grow in numbers during those years and throughout that unique time in our country, but also strengthen our commitment and excellence in education with a biblical worldview. So it was certainly a tough time for us as a school and with our families, but I believe with that partnership in place and certainly with God's hand, that's how we were able to navigate through that.
I'm assuming that partnering with the families is something that continues to this day. What are there some of those opportunities? Because we may have some families listening. What are some of those partnering opportunities that might be available, particularly for families that maybe have, their own small business or things like that?
We would encourage any family that's interested to come and tour, to come and see the campus, meet our team, meet our staff, meet with our administration. We never want anybody to come at Strong Rock and say, well, that would never work for our family. It's an opportunity for everybody. And so we would love to have
Excellent.
the chance to just be able to show them what incredible things that we have here and how they could play a piece in that.
So in that openness, that willingness to share, I think that also goes to the role that community involvement plays in Strong Rock's operations and Strong Rock's success. And with our prior podcast guests, we've consistently seen that community involvement, not just from simply from an advertising or a marketing standpoint, but actual community involvement really matters in the success of an organization. With an organization like Strong Rock, in some of the other nonprofits that we've spoken to in the past, community involvement really becomes a two-way street. It becomes the community being involved to support the organization as well as the organization supporting the community. So tell us a little bit about the role that community involvement has played at Strong Rock.
Strong Rock is really honored to be in Henry County and specifically in Locust Grove. God has blessed us with outstanding relationships here in our local community, and we really count their support as one of our greatest blessings here on our campus. The Strong Rock motto is blessed to be a blessing, and we stand firm in having our students understand that with this blessing of God comes the opportunity to be a blessing back in our community. From international, domestic, or even local mission trips to even our Great Day of Service, where we take all of our 6th through 12th graders off campus to serve in our local and regional communities, we understand that the greatest leaders are the greatest servers, that they need to have a Christ-like servant heart and leadership, and that's exactly what our country even needs. So we're starting that at a middle school level of trying to help our students understand the importance of that and the value that that places, that it's not just the academics. You need to learn how to give back to your community and where you serve
Amen.
and where you live.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so, obviously with the past year of COVID and travel restrictions and those things, some more distant opportunities may have been limited, but you did mention a moment ago international. Can you share anything with us about some of the international opportunities that, have been at Strong Rock to serve and what may come in the future, obviously, as travel conditions allow?
Yeah. So, well, for this last year, with it being a different kind of year for everybody, we did not have any international trips take place. But we do have a week that we call Mini Mester Week, and we are bringing that back. We've had it every year except for last year. And so that will be actually filled with international mission trips, domestic mission trips, and local mission trips for different ages, 6th through 12th grade. So we're very excited to bring that back because we do think it's important for students to understand the mission aspect of what we do here at school. It's great to have our Bible classes where we're learning about what mission looks like, but it's another thing to be able to take that and apply that and to be the hands and feet of Jesus, either where you live in your community, in the state, somewhere in the United States, or even further than that internationally. So we are bringing that back. We'll have Mini Mester Week this coming year.
What an opportunity. That sounds terrific. That sounds terrific. So, and I've really been looking forward to this question, and you touched on it a little bit earlier when you mentioned the new multiplex, but tell us about some of the exciting things going on at Strong Rock currently, and some of the things you're working on for the future of the school.
Sure. Any kind of growth is exciting, so we are very excited that this is happening this year. We just recently launched a building campaign this past January for the Strong Rock Multiplex. This campaign was actually birthed in 2019 at our 10th annual Denim and Diamonds auction, and there we were able to raise almost $110,000 in one night from our families, from people in the local community. It was just an amazing night. But this really inspired and resonated with our board of trustees, and they just thought, we need to make this a little bit bigger. And so they took that plan and decided to go for a larger facility to accommodate all four of our pillars, the academics, athletics, fine arts, and missions. And so this building will house a practice arena for basketball, cheerleading, volleyball, and it'll also have an additional upper level space, as I mentioned earlier, for the wrestling team, which they've not had that space before. So this is going to be great for them to be able to expand. But we'll also have a black box theater and the high school chorus room, elementary chorus room will relocate that way. We will actually be able to move our audiovisual studio, which has been housed in a smaller room, to house more of the equipment that they will need to be training on, where when they leave that class, if they want to serve in that capacity at their church and know how a soundboard and a light board works, they will have the capabilities of understanding how that works. So It's really going to be greatly beneficial, not just for us as a school, but for them as they serve in other areas. And then, of course, we'll relocate our piano lab out that way as well. So for academics, we're going to see a lot of changes. We're going to have additional indoor space for PE classes, which we need. As our school has been growing, as we talked about the numbers a minute ago, a lot more students here, and so we need some extra space. And so that's going to provide additional indoor space for PE classes, also additional flex space for professional learning, guidance meetings, our Student Leadership Institute, which is already meeting, and we've had several students go through that program. 2 of our sons are involved in that, and it's just amazing. But it's also going to result in releasing 4 academic classrooms in our main building for other additional academic opportunities, which is crucial. Gives us more classroom space. From an athletics standpoint, it'll give us the dedicated wrestling space, cheerleading practice space, but also an additional court area for practice and warm-ups, which we've needed. And then it'll give us an indoor area for outdoor teams to come in during inclement weather. So we don't have to stop what we're doing. They can still be training and preparing and play well. For our fine arts, it'll give us a black box theater. We've never had that before. And so that's certainly a step that we want to take a direction in. We want to expand more of our fine arts. They do a tremendous job as individual competitors and also as group. So we want to provide that space for them. It'll also allow for the relocation of several of those fine arts classrooms that I just mentioned. And then an indoor space for our marching band practice. We've had a couple of times where they've been rained out. They can't practice on the field in the rain. They've got to protect the instruments. And so this is going to allow them to continue to have that practice time if the weather is just not cooperating that day. So it'll be great. And then space for dress rehearsals and even set construction. I'm not sure if you've seen any of our fine arts shows, but the set design is absolutely incredible. But they need a place to make all of those things. And so right now we've been making those off campus and bring them here. And so now this provides a space for them to actually create and design and store until the show is ready.
Yes. Yeah. We actually attended when the middle school put on Seussical the Musical earlier this year. We attended, and yes, the set design was fantastic. So, on this multiplex, and I've had the privilege to see the plans and kind of, familiarize myself with what you guys are doing here. It is really an impressive facility.
It is.
The full plans are available for anyone to view on the Strong Rock website. Is that correct?
It is. If you go to
Yep.
strongrockchristianschool.com, right there on the homepage, you can click our link to the Strong Rock Multiplex and see where we are in the fundraising capabilities, updated pictures of where we are with the land site. I'm not sure if you saw that on the way in, but it is absolutely flat and cleared
Yes.
out and ready for the
And
building.
so that's right. That's right. And I think that's a good point to note is that, this isn't something that's pie in the sky, 5-10
No.
years in the future.
It's here.
We've broken ground. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really exciting. And when do you guys anticipate having the facility available, for the students to use and
It'll
enjoy?
be this coming school year.
Wow.
Yep. We
Wow.
are very excited.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's a story of success.
It is.
That's amazing.
It is.
That's amazing.
We're so pleased. And even just speaking about our missions opportunities a few moments ago and how we're able to serve outside in the community, this is also going to provide a space for group meetings and dinners. So this will allow the community to come to us. If they need a space for that, we can provide that now with this new facility, which we want to do. We want that continued partnership to be there. And so we can host even mission events here at a local level. And so this will give us a place not just for our students to enjoy during the regular school hours, but even after hours, if we need to use that for other sources for churches to come and use, we want to be available for them.
And again, coming back full circle to community involvement
Yeah.
of not only being here for the enrolled students,
Right.
but being here for the community, for the community's needs, regardless of if those needs overlap with those of enrolled students.
That's right.
And that's a wonderful testament to everyone involved here at Strong Rock that's making that happen. So
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
We certainly don't think it's an accident that God has landed us right where we are.
Amen. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, how about any other upcoming events or anything folks should know about?
We do. We have something really exciting coming up a little earlier than this multiplex. On August 6th, we're going to be celebrating our 15th year anniversary with our Strong Rock Family Night, and we'll be featuring Jace Robertson. I don't know if you remember him from Duck Dynasty.
Of course.
He's quite the character. He's going to be here as our main speaker, but we'll have other fun family event night activities like baseball family pitch, a home run derby. We'll have inflatables. We'll have food vendors. We have Shane's Rib Shack coming that night, Truett's Grill, our Sage Pizza. And Sage is, let me just say, they're quite exceptional. They do our school lunches here and do a fantastic job. And so we'll have some pizza provided by them and then Kona ice trucks. But we have some amazing presenting sponsors that have made this night possible. Falcon Design, a vein specialist of the South, and then Sixth String Southern Productions. And so we've joined together and to make this night just an incredible night for our families and our community. And it's fun because we called it uncanceled. So many things last year were canceled and done away with just because of the nature of the coronavirus and the way it affected so many people. And so we thought a way to name this event uncanceled was just perfect, that this was something that was going to happen. We're going to celebrate this. And with this being our 15th year anniversary, we are so excited that God has just provided in His sovereignty each year exactly what we need with the families, with the teachers, and the staff that He brings here on this campus. It's certainly not by any accident, but by His perfect design.
So this again is an event that is not limited just to those who are enrolled at Strong Rock. This is an event that folks can purchase tickets to. Is that correct?
Yes, they can purchase tickets online if they go to strongrockchristianschool.com/Jace Robertson. You can go ahead and purchase your admission tickets and meal tickets now. Go ahead and be ready. Get it on the calendar.
And that date again was August
the 6th. It'll
August
start
the
at
6th.
6 p.m. We are going to finish the night by fireworks at 9 p.m. So it's going to be quite the event. Fireworks are done by Pyrotechnico Company, and I know they'll do an incredible job that night.
So there you go, folks. For anyone listening to this prior to August 6th, go online, grab your tickets, and should be a wonderful evening to bring your family out and enjoy a great program, a great time with fellow neighbors in the community, and also, if you're not familiar with Strong Rock, a way to see the facilities and kind of get an idea of some of what's going on
That's
here.
right.
In
Come
Locust
meet our
Grove.
families. Come meet our staff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How exciting. How exciting. So, if folks would like to get involved with Strong Rock, and obviously one of the things where I would include here is enrollment of students, but also beyond enrollment of students, what are some opportunities that folks have to get involved with Strong Rock, and how should they go about doing that?
Well, one of the best ways is word of mouth. We encourage our families all the time. If you are having just an exceptional experience, and we've seen that to be true, and even just from my own personal testimony, we have loved Strong Rock and continue to love that. But share with other families your experiences here and tell about what makes Strong Rock unique to your family, to your student. What do you feel would resonate with other families that you're involved with, either on the baseball fields or maybe you're just hanging out at the splash pad this summer? As you come into contact with families, word of mouth is a great way to advertise. The second way to give is towards our Strong Rock Multiplex campaign. And so if you're interested in being a part of that and giving, you can certainly visit our website, strongrockchristianschool.com/beyond the building, and find out more information of being involved in ways there with our capital campaign. But also third, if you're a local business, we also have a work-study program for our seniors. Our seniors are always looking for other area businesses to gain work experience. And so if you're interested, if you own your own business and you're able to be a part of that, please contact us. We're always looking for other businesses to partner with. Ty Lewis is our work-based learning director, and you can give us a call at the school at 678-833-1200. We would love to have you partner with us in those ways.
For families that may be interested, we're currently here in late June recording this, and this recording will be published in early July, so folks will have access to hear our conversation kind of in that time frame. So if folks are interested in enrollment at Strong Rock, are they too late for this academic year, for fall 2021?
Never too late.
And if they are interested, how does that process start? In what should they do to reach out there?
Well, even through the summer months, we're actually open. We have a staff here on site. We offer tours every Tuesday at 9 a.m., and that's just an open call, so you don't have to make an appointment. You don't have to schedule it.
Wonderful.
You can just show up any Tuesday at 9 a.m., come to our front office school, let them know that you're here for a tour, and our two administrative directors will come and meet you and give you a tour of the campus, where you can see inside classrooms and see the space that's actually here. But if you decide that you need more, that Tuesday doesn't work for you, or you need evening time because you work during the day, you can schedule a private tour, and we'll do that over the summertime. So you certainly don't have to wait until school is in session. We have people here on campus each day, and so we would love the opportunity to meet you, to share our story with you, and to see where you could be a part of Strong Rock.
That's great to hear how open the tours are for prospective families to come see, what's going on and have their first introduction with Strong Rock. It was actually going back to when Mr. Tucker Perkerson was here. So Tucker, I'm giving you a shout out if you're listening. He had invited us down for a tour, and that was when we decided, to enroll our daughter here. So full disclosure, listeners, we do have a child here at the school as well, and certainly have been blessed to have that opportunity. So, but yes, the facility tours are fantastic. Can't recommend them enough. And now it's even more impressive than it was then, and continues to be so with each passing year as the school expands and develops. And that may be actually a great thing, something that I know I've taken some interest in looking at. I know in the main lobby there's a model of a dream master plan. Is that also available on the website for folks to see?
It is. It is on our website. Yes.
So I would encourage listeners to go to the Strong Rock website and peruse the site. There's a lot of good information there, but also if you have a moment, look at the master plan and some of the goals and ideas that are there for the future of Strong Rock, and I think you'll really be impressed with some of the ideas and goals that the organization is striving to achieve, and making great progress towards. Making great progress.
I would certainly encourage anyone to come and tour. When we came, we were just coming to look, never really saw this as an option for us. And when we came, it's kind of like when you walk into a house that you're buying, and you walk in and you just know. That's it. And that's exactly what happened with us when we had our tour experience here. We just knew from the first moment we set foot on the campus to touring the hallways and the classrooms and meeting the staff here, we could see our kids here. And so I would encourage anybody that's considering Christian education to make an effort to come by and take a peek, visit, smell the coffee here, and just get a taste of what it's like to be at Strong Rock and see if you could see yourself here as being a part.
Excellent. I think that's a wonderful invitation. So before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to share with the listeners about Strong Rock or anything else that we need to make sure we cover for everyone?
I think it's just an incredible testament to Strong Rock with the biblical worldview emphasis throughout each class. It doesn't matter what subject it is. We are a Christian school through and through. And having 5 children that go from preschool to elementary to middle and high school, and being able to see that testament really being truly taught to each of our children as they interact with teachers. And it goes beyond even the academics. It's the personal relationships where they can ask their teachers, hey, I'm struggling, and I just need you to pray with me, that opportunity is here. It's not just a Christian school on paper, that you will recognize and sense the Spirit of the Lord, not just on this campus, but throughout each classroom with each teacher that has decided to be a part of this team. You'll see that through and through.
Beautiful. So tell folks how they can reach out to Strong Rock, where they can get in contact, phone, website, social medias. How can folks connect with Strong Rock?
We would love for you to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter, Strong Rock Christian School. You can certainly visit our website at strongrockchristianschool.com. It has all of the information on there. I will tell you that as you're viewing the website, if you're looking as a potential parent, we have a parents link at the top of the home page. Click that, and it will give you all of the information that you would need to be able to consider Strong Rock. But then you can also give us a call at 678-833-1200, and we would be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Perfect. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for the time
Thank
today.
you, John.
Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to come down and set up all my equipment in your library. So again, our folks listening maybe can't see this, but I've got wires and microphones and all and stuff going everywhere here in the library. So, thank you so much. I really can't
pleasure,
express that enough. And, we look forward to future great things at Strong Rock, and we really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you so much, John.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, listeners, thanks so much for joining us again. We hope to have you back next month for our next episode, and we hope you make it a great day.